Alrighty, we're moving so raw right now that I'm literally broadcasting the setup of my camera because this is breaking news. If you have not already heard, there you go. Hi, extreme close up of my mouth and the microphone. If you have not already heard, there is a development in the FTX saga. There we go. Development in the FTX saga. That'll work a little better right there. And wow, Mama Biz, you brought this to my attention, said we got to go live right now, and I appreciate you saying that. Kevin Hawthorne's in the chat. Thank you for saying hello. We are going to jump straight into the article of the day, and this is huge. It's absolutely huge. Now I might have to go ahead and arrange some things as we go live because we really were not totally prepared for this. Mom and Biz, what is that? What's the first headline that you're reading here from Crypto Briefing?
Bahamas government says it ordered SBF to hack FTX.
That is, I mean, it's basically crazy, right? You have to just say that's basically nuts. Like none of us thought this was possible, but this latest development of things that are happening in the whole FTX saga. Like it almost seems unbelievable. Every time we think that we've gotten to the bottom of what's happening with the FTX hack or the FTX situation, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper. We thought that there were problems with there being essentially a money laundering situation between donations to Ukraine and the Democratic Party at the DNC, and then now the Bahamian government, they're claiming credit for the hack.
Yeah. Here, let's read the takeaway. Sam Bankman-Friedman conducted last week's 9-figure FTX hack under the instruction of the Securities Commission of the Bahamas. FTX has filed a motion with the court claiming the commission's actions were, quote, unauthorized. The Bahamian government is now one of the world's biggest Ethereum holders after converting FTX's assets. And I believe if we go further down in the article, it's like 9.4 billion in ETH.
Wow. So following freezing customer wallets, it emerged that the exchange had a 9.4 billion hole in its balance sheet. So there you go. The question is, does the Bahamian government actually possess the $9.4 billion in Ethereum right now? Because I don't know if they've closed the loop there.
And what I read was that they're now one of the largest. They're a new Ethereum whale. 35th biggest Ethereum whale is what they say here.
Jeez, yeah, okay. So the Bahamian Authority holds over $330 million worth.
Okay.
Making it 35th biggest Ethereum whale. Most of the funds are currently held in this Ethereum wallet. Let's go ahead and take a look over, the FTX account strainer. This is apparently what?
But that number, that 9.4 billion, it's awfully close to, I don't know, the number 10 billion. And isn't that the number we've all been throwing around? Like $10 billion just disappeared into this FTX hole. And suddenly we're seeing over here with the government of Bahama has 9.4 billion. That's not suspicious at all.
No, they don't have 9.4 billion though. That's just it. What they've got currently, based on the current value of Ethereum, they've got 291 million, and then in their other tokens and stables and everything else, they got over 14 million. Looks like, wow, they got Pax G of all things. They got almost $14 million of Pax G. This is apparently what the Bahamian government values. Is they value a tokenized representation of gold, like Pax G, where they've actually got a treasury and they have audits and attestations of the gold that they have in their vault. But that is crazy. Almost nothing else except for airdrops, right? They've got $4 worth of tether, 14 million, and one pickle token. They've almost got as much. They've got 25% as much pickle token as they have tether. Imagine that. Oh, so anyway, that was just the first article. Apparently, they are multi-chain here as well. Bunch of messages that have gone over to this address. People are not very happy with what's going on there. But if we check out blockscan.com, go back to dark mode to spare our audience's eyes. But they clearly have active balances on Etherscan, BSC Scan, or Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, Snowtrace, Moonbeam, Gnosis Chain, and then the test nets for all of these. So there's clearly a lot of activity over on this FTX wallet drainer account that is now being claimed as the Bahamian authorities, right? Their version of the SEC.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So let's go a little deeper down the rabbit hole. We've got an additional bit of coverage from Forecast. What do we have here?
Bahamas regulator orders transfer of all FTX digital assets to government wallet. I mean, it's in a cold wallet now.
Got it. Yeah, no, it's crazy, though. They order transfer of all FTX digital assets to government wallet. Apparently, they are finally stepping into this thing, right? The previous news was that the police and the local authorities in Bahamas basically said, like, hey, this guy hasn't committed any local crimes. We can't convict him of anything. And there's been no sort of like international cooperation to get like a warrant for this guy's arrest. So we don't have any reason to hold him, and they let him go personally. But this kind of tracks, it's more in line with what most governments would do in the case of like a hack or a major theft, is just say, okay, how do we step in and, for the good of the people, think of the children, for the good of the people, how do we go and make sure that nothing else is either stolen or, or disappears or is funneled out by this dying entity that's about to go through Chapter 11 bankruptcy? How do we make sure that they don't like make the rest of it disappear too? Right? If 10 billion is missing, then the remaining 600 million or whatever, how do we make sure that that doesn't just like vanish overnight? So yeah, I think that's the big thing. Like, let's dive into this article really fast, though. This is an emergency live stream. We didn't really plan on doing this, but Mama Biz was like, no, this is important and nobody's talking about it. She's right. Nobody's talking about it, and I can't believe that nobody's talking about this, because this fundamentally changes a lot of different aspects of the FTX story. On the one side, the regulator orders a transfer of all FTX assets, but on the other account, they say that they literally ordered SBF to hack FTX. So I don't know if that's just clever phrasing, if it's just clickbait. So the Securities Commission, right, they've wanted to transfer the remaining assets, but did they mean that they actually wanted him to commit the very first backdoor hack, or they want him to now backdoor the wallets and in some like extrajudicial or in some like inappropriate way drain the funds? Because I'm not totally clear on that. What's your read on it?
I'm not clear on it either. I mean, I think I misread what they said about the 9.4 billion. But I don't know. I don't even know what to make of this. This is insane.
Okay, so it's this then. It's last week's hack. It was the post. It was the post sort of breakdown PR hack where they had already admitted to the $10 billion shortfall, and then there was still a 9-figure treasury over at FTX. And I think the takeaways here kind of shows that the Securities Commission of Bahamas told him, okay, the remainder of the funds, we got to lock down. That's what I'm reading from this, is that they're trying to lock that down. And since from that point, that's made them one of the biggest whales down. Now, spot 35 in a stacked ranking of Ethereum whales, that doesn't put you in the same territory as the DAO or the Ethereum core developers. They are like mega whales in Ethereum. There's so much centralization of buying power and staking power in a proof of stake system. So yeah, there's some serious issues there, but apparently the Bahamian government is now a player, right? They might actually have a say in governance on Ethereum. And this is the thing that proof of work maximalists have always warned against, is that nation states can very easily say like, well, you did a bad thing, give us all of your holdings. Now all of a sudden, we're not just the IRL government. We now govern, we literally control the means of governance for your blockchain too. So we can censor transactions or vote on having transactions censored. We can choose not to support validators that won't censor transactions. And we can create custom blacklists the way the U.S. Treasury has done with the Office of Foreign Asset Control.
Yeah. So if my, if my, inner conspiracy theorist is like has alarm bells going off, I'm gonna call this the first shit test.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are failing. Yeah, this is not good. It's very much not a good look. And the fundamentals of proof of work versus proof of stake, that's probably a simple enough argument for most people to have figured that out. This is why I was very vocal about saying I didn't support Zcash's move to proof of stake, and why I'm just kind of resigned to Ethereum's move to proof of stake, because they always promised it, and we knew it was coming. I just hoped that they were faking it, that it would take longer. So yeah, there you go. The Bahamas government that apparently has the remainder of those digital assets. Let's see whatever else they have here. There is a quote from their commission saying urgent interim regulatory action was necessary to protect the interests of clients and creditors of FDM. They also say they'll collaborate with authorities and regulators to address any other matters affecting creditors. So they're going to be working with the Chapter 11 trustee, I think, and then any other regulators that are involved in all that. And then apparently when the House has its hearing sometime next month, I get the sense that these Bahamian authorities will be involved in that too. Here in the United States, they may come in to sit in that session and testify. But apparently the other facts are that the official that's funny. The official Chapter 11 filing was on November 11th. So remember the 11th of November. This will be something that will be akin to the barrel and gunpowder plot, where clearly the government tried to set up a bunch of powder kegs under crypto and blow it up. There you go.
And did they succeed?
They're getting pretty close.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so...
Oh, just side note, John J. Ray III.
Mm-hmm.
What did I read about him? I think this guy used to be the chair of Enron.
Yeah, no, he was. He handled, and that's precisely why he was assigned as the new CEO, was because he handled the sort of liquidation of assets and the bankruptcy of Enron.
So he was the guy there, like in the fallout.
Yeah, he's like this is like the dream team pick, like the top pick for somebody that could handle a high profile bankruptcy case. So it doesn't get. I mean, you don't get much better. Like he's the major leagues of bankruptcy, corporate bankruptcy, is the guy who handled Enron. So there you have it. I think it's as simple as that, but I don't know. Maybe there are other reasons too. Maybe he's part of that cabal of like Gensler and and Ellison and these other people. So, but yeah, apparently the corporate funds of the FTX group are used to purchase homes, other personal items for employees and advisors. So there may have been a misappropriation of funds that does feed into Bahamian law by way of all that stuff happening there and the fact that all that stuff was purchased there. Certainly there would be evidence there, so there would need to be cooperation between the Bahamian government and the U.S. government. Beyond that, if you wanted to go commit crimes, financial crimes, why would you do that in Bahamas? They have extradition, and they're very friendly with the United States.
I don't know.
That's got to be like, these people are not very good critical thinkers. They're phenomenal at creating systems and hacking, but I mean, fundamental game theory. Jeez.
I know, crazy. And that is all we have time for.
I know. Well, one last headline. Let's see if you mind reading it off for the folks.
Okay. Did the Bahamas Securities Commission take control of FTX's assets? They did. Okay.
So question and answer.
Answer. And we do have to go, honey.
Got it done. Let me read this. Let me read this paragraph. They have a document that was released 12th November. Securities Commission of Bahamas, in the exercise of its powers as regulator acting under the authority of an order made by the Supreme Court of the Bahamas, took the action of directing the transfer of all digital assets of FTX Digital Markets to a digital wallet controlled by the Commission for safekeeping. Urgent interim regulatory action was necessary to protect the interests of clients and creditors of FDM. That's the headline right there, folks. That's the meat and potatoes. Wanted to leave you with that. You're right. We got to run, but you're the reason we make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Oh, also, red screen on the way out. I love your face. We'll see you next time, guys.